guys, so it is time. We're gonna put in these fixed caster camber plates. Okay, so I said when I went to the track last week, I said I was gonna do an install video on these. So that's what I'm doing. So what we're gonna do is put the fixed plates on here and then take these plates and we'll put them on the white car because the white car does need those because of how low the front is. So it needs a little extra camber. It kind of sits in a little bit and it'll just give me more adjustment so we can get that aligned a little bit better. So yeah, so let's go over what we got to do with these. So basically what you do is it kind of has some locating tabs, but I'm probably going to cut those off. When I talked to the guy at UPR, he says he cut his off and just welded it on, which is what I plan on doing. And then maybe painting it black to kind of match. But so once you get these on, as you can see, it kind of gives you maximum caster, okay? And the thing is, you can't adjust the camber, okay? So what you got to do, well, there's two things you can do. Number one, you need 1 inch shorter arms, okay, if you want to use those. So I do have 1 inch shorter arms, so I'm good there. But I don't have adjustable arms, okay? So that's one way you can adjust the camber is with an adjustable arm. Another way you can do it, which is what I'm gonna do, is you get a bolt, okay, that indexes on the top of the strut. Okay, where the strut hooks to the spindle, you have 2 bolts. The one on the bottom, you just, you leave that one alone, and the one on the top, you get a bolt that indexes. I don't have one. I know, he told me they sell them, so I'm gonna be looking into that. But I won't be doing that at the moment. That's something you can do later on. So that you can dial in your camber, okay? So if we put the plates on and the camber's not right, then we'll have to get those indexing bolts and then we can move it back out or back in whichever way it needs to go. So, all right, so what I'm gonna do is get this thing jacked up, get the front wheels off and take some of the pressure off the arms and start unbolting it. Shouldn't be too hard of a job. The hardest thing, well, not the hardest, but the messiest thing is gonna be welding this. I'm gonna have to protect all this with some kind of a blanket or something so we don't get everything a mess because there's gonna be some grinding involved too, so. All right, guys, so this is how you know you haven't been to the track in a while. Your brakes start getting rusty. We gotta get back to the track. Okay, so I got it all on jack stands and got the bolt off and I disconnected my travel limiters and basically just lower it down. Once we lower it down, we can unbolt these and then start trying to position the new ones on there to see how they look and exactly where they're gonna go. Okay, so here's what the kit comes with. By the way, I got it at the Snowbird Nationals, so I don't know if I got a deal on it or not, but it was 149 bucks for the whole kit. And you get all these are the standoff spacers that you basically put here and then one underneath. I'm not sure what's all gonna work there, if these will be too long. I do still have the other ones. I have these shorter spacers here. So if we need to, we can always take those off, but yeah, I mean, it comes with, like I said, all the hardware. If you wanted to bolt it on, yeah, it comes with all that. So, but like I said, we're not going to bolt it on. We are going to go ahead and just kind of locates really nice right there. So the major benefit of having these welded on is, when you come down from those big wheel stands, this is much stronger than just a regular caster camber plate. You can rip the bolts right out of the shock tower. There's only 3 bolts that hook a caster camber plate to your shock tower. They're not that big. I'll show you these. It's these right here, okay? So you got 1, 2, 3. So if this wanted to come up through here, all I'd have to do is rip these 3 bolts out. Not that that would happen, but you never know. So yeah, these are going to be much stronger. I mean, there's nothing to rip out. It would have to pull the entire strut out. Oh, that other one. As you can see, like once that's welded, it would have to pull the entire strut out, you know, in order for that to move. So yeah, so we won't have any struts going through our hood, so that'll be good. And yeah, let me go ahead and I'll kind of mark it off, and then I need to start grinding it and grind this down a little bit too. And yeah, I can start tacking it on. I mean, that's pretty much where it's gonna sit. All right, so we got it all protected here with some sheets. Try to keep most of the debris off the engine and paint. So right now we got to cut. We got to cut the shock tower here and here to make clearance for where the new position is going to be, because it does interfere with the shock tower. So the strut's got to come up through there, and as you can see, there's shock tower in the way. So I'm going to cut that, and then we'll start grinding off the paint and get it ready to weld. I did go ahead and just remove the spring and all that, just to make it easier to move up and down and kind of get an idea of where everything goes. So let me get this cut and we'll grind it down and move on from there. Alrighty, so there you go. It fits really good. Spacers are on there, and you can see underneath, moves it all the way to the back there. So that way you have maximum caster. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna try to set the car, well, not set the car, but set the height of this like roughly around where ride height's gonna be. And then I'm gonna put my angle finder on here. Let's see where we're at as far as the camber goes. I'm hoping that I don't have to move it much from here, so I can kind of use those tabs to locate it. But we'll see. I'll put it at ride height and then get my angle gauge, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so we got the car leveled out. I had to shim this side a little bit. My floor's a little unlevel, but make sure you do that first before you start checking anything over here as far as your angles and stuff go. So I used my floor jack just to kind of set this at ride height, you know, jacked it up, because that way it takes bump steer out of the equation, you know, changing your angles. So I got it pretty much where it's going to be when it's on the ground. So we'll just throw this on there. We're at 87.1, which we want to be at 90. So it looks like we got to go this way a little bit. Not much, just a little bit out like that. Will get us close to 89, 90. So we're just looking for 90 degrees, so that would be straight up and down. So in other words, this needs to move a little bit over this way. So I'll clearance this a little bit more, and then we can move it over and get it close. And then, yeah, that should be it. I can go ahead and start cleaning this up and getting it ready to tack it on there. I'm not sure if I'm probably gonna cut those tabs off, because right now, you know, the tabs are hitting. So I really can't go any further that way. So yeah, and it needs to move. So yeah, I got it at 88.1, 88. So we've got 1.5 degrees or 2 degrees to work with, that we need to pull it out a little bit. But like I said, I might even be able to just loosen this bolt. And you know, there's play, and there's the hole here has got some play in it. So I might be able to just loosen the bolt and move it out a little bit to get that extra 1 degree or 2 I need. So I may not have to go and look for those indexing bolts, because I did a quick search on them and I really can't find them. I'll have to call UPR and ask them where to get those, because the guy told me, he was at the booth and I was down at the Snowbirds, and he told me that they have those. So I don't know, maybe I can not have to do that and just, like I said, use the play in the strut itself, and you know, just move it enough to get it where I need it to be. But it's super close right now, and and the everything's lined up really good. It looks really good. So I'm gonna have to grind a little bit more paint here. You wanna make sure you have at least like an inch around your paint, because when you start welding, you're gonna cook the paint. So So I got a few tacks there, and the four corners, just to hold it in place. This is going to take a little time to weld because I don't want to overheat this bearing here. I tried to get it out, but it's like not wanting to come out. So I'm just going to take my time, and so I don't overheat that. So it's cool to the touch. So if I can keep it cool to the touch, then I know it's not going to get messed up. But anyway, moving on, I wanted to show, I know I talked a little earlier, this is actually the next day, and I know I talked a little bit earlier about getting an index bolt, okay, so I can move the camber around here. Well, looking online, I can't find anything, so me being who I am, I went ahead and just made one, okay, so let me take this out of here. Now, some of you might cringe at this and probably wouldn't want to drive this on the street, and I don't blame you, but you know, I'm not that worried about it. This is my car, so, and I only drag race it. I don't take it on the street, but so what I did was I ground down half of one of these bolts. Okay, you can see kind of one of the bolts is halfway ground down. I kind of marked it with tape so I know where to stop, okay? So let me show you what that does, how that works. So we'll go ahead and put it in. Okay, so I got the bolt in there, and as you can see, we got it, it's at 90 degrees right now. So that means our wheel's gonna be straight up and down. So if we take and we turn this bolt, say we'll turn it half a turn, you can see it starting to pull in. Okay, and then we'll go back, comes back out. Okay, so that's the way that works. And I only had to grind maybe, I don't know, a few millimeters off that bolt to get it to do that, like a cam, like adjust like a cam. So, I mean, does it weaken the bolt a little bit? Maybe, but this is a pretty easy solution to make this work. So I got a little bit of adjustment out of it. I can mess with my camber a little bit, which I need to, because I couldn't go much further. I don't know if you can see the plate. The plate is almost all the way to the edge here. So I really can't go much further. Then I would have to start modifying the plate. I'd have to start grinding down the plate. So yeah, I would say that these plates are definitely made for adjustable arms. Okay, so if you have adjustable arms, meaning you have heims here and here, these plates will work perfect. You can get plenty of adjustment out of that, and you wouldn't have to fool around like I'm fooling around to get it to adjust. But you know, that being said, this is going to work for me. It's not that big of a deal to you know, have this bolt a little bit thinner. I mean, is it going to break? No, it's not going to break. So, and then what I can do is, once we get it all set up and I get everything dialed in the way I want, I'll take a Sharpie, like a silver Sharpie, and we'll mark the bolt and then run a line like right off the edge here or here. And that way I can, you know, take a look at it every once in a while and I'll know my bolt hasn't moved. And if it moves, then I know that we have other problems, but I don't think it's gonna move. And it'll kind of give me a nice reference point to, you know, if I wanna move it this way, it'll give me a little bit of negative camber, or the other way, it'll give me positive, whatever you wanna do. So there's always different ways to skin a cat, as they say. So this, like I said, this is gonna take me a little more time, but I think you guys got the gist of it. I'm gonna take my time on welding that because like I said, I don't wanna overheat the bearing. And yeah, and then I'll move on to that side. But I'm not gonna show any more of that because I've pretty much shown everything you need to know about how to do this. So hopefully you'll learn something. This is the first time I'm doing this, and I kind of got most of the instructions from the guy that was selling me the plates. So, but anyway, I do have another little update as far as the 2J stuff goes. I did pick up the BC valve springs. Okay, so those are going to be the upgraded valve springs that I'm going to need. I'm going to order some new valves. I started doing a little port work on the head. I don't know if you can tell or not. Well, probably you can. I pretty much worked on the short turn here and here, and that's pretty much it. And then basically cleaned it up with some rolls. See if I can find my flashlight. So you can see, yeah, so that's the exhaust port. Kind of did like a knife edge on the separator there on both sides. You can see, same thing there. Didn't really do like much bowl work or anything like that, just kind of cleaned it up and stuck with the short turn. The short turn is really where it makes a big difference, because on these heads, there's a big ridge it's like right here. There's a big ridge. It's really hard to see, but let's see if I can show it to you on this one. You can see the ridge right there. And then on this one, you can see how I took it out. Okay, see the difference? On the top. I can't point at it because I'm using my other hand, but anyway, that's a little update on that. So I've been working on that. I'm not really showing it on video because I have another video on that from a year or two ago when I was doing this head here. Pretty much the same thing, no different. So, and there's a bunch of other videos out on YouTube about porting 2J heads. So we have a little ways to go on this. I'm still working on a few things, and got to get it to the machine shop. And I'm not 100% sure about this crank. I've been kind of looking for another crank because I don't know if I want to have it turned and then have to deal with undersized bearings and all that, but I may have to. So, but anyway, hope you guys learned something on this little project, and hopefully I'll have this done in another day. So, and try to get back to the track soon. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. Check you all later.